What a Catch, Part 39, a Miraculous Ladybug Fanfiction. If you have not heard the previous 38 parts of this story, you can find a link to them in the description box below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below in support of more fanfiction. Fancy seeing you again, here of all places, Lila said, tapping Adrien on the shoulder as his insides groaned. What did I do to deserve a day like today? He thought, sighing loudly enough for her to hear. He had stopped at a jewelry store to get a necklace engraved for Natalie, in case tomorrow ended as a worst-case scenario, when Lila walked in. What's wrong? It's not like I'm bad luck. Besides, if you run into me again, it'll be a charm. That's not, he began, shaking his head and deciding to be civil. It's not you. Sorry, I'm missing a friend right now. A friend? Yeah, I sent him away a few days ago, and I kind of miss him. Where did you send him to? New York. That's a dramatic leap. Was it for business, or did you get in a fight? Both, kind of. It's complicated, but I had to do it. It had to get done. Well, it's not like you'll never see him again. New York is just a flight away, especially for a man with a wallet as thick as yours. Lila... What? It's not a euphemism for anything, although it wouldn't be wrong. Besides, I'm just saying it's not the end of the world. Tomorrow, Hawkmoth, Ladybug, and Cat Noir are going to have a showdown, but Paris's beloved will come out on top, of course. There's nothing to worry about. I appreciate the faith you put in them, Lila. No, Adrien. I'm putting faith in you. Adrien looked down in shame at her comment. He was sure she meant it as a compliment, but it was another reminder that he's a sloppy drunk. Granted, had he not gone home with her that night, she would have just written it off as him being intoxicated, but he had taken it one step further. I suppose I should count my blessings, he thought. She hadn't, as far as he could tell, told anyone. Not that they would have believed her back when he first shared his secret identity with her, but Lila had a lot of power now. She was the face of the Paris news, and the majority of citizens in Paris, even across all of France, would recognize her. She could preach that an asteroid was coming to destroy the Earth tomorrow, and she'd have a massive following of people who would believe her. That ring you wear isn't on your finger anymore. Was it a promise ring? Are you no longer pining for Ladybug? I'm seeing someone else now. Adrien drew his phone out from his pocket and flipped through his photos. It was a decade old now, but his favorite picture was still one Ollie had taken of him and Marinette working on a project together in the library during high school. Anyone I know? Is she in the entertainment world like your last ditzy girlfriend? No, she's nothing like Heather. She deserves someone who can give her the world. Sounds like you fancy this girl quite a bit then, Agrest, Lila said, rolling her eyes and clicking her tongue. A shiver went up his spine as Lila's words sharpened his crockpot of emotions. She was right. Not only did he like Marinette, he probably fell for her a long time ago without realizing it. Yeah, he whispered. I think you're right. Darn, that upsets me. Oh well, there are plenty of other fish in the sea. Whatever, he laughed. You know you'd complain about our complexions clashing on cameras anyway. Careful with how you tease me, kitty, Lila smirked, turning to leave. I still hold your secret after all. Perhaps more than the two you entrusted me with. Her words were like a knife in his gut, although she meant him well. He was still repulsed by her, but there was something comforting in a familiar face, despite his weaknesses. He might dare have called her a friend a few years back. Adrien knew that they would never become close, but she certainly acted like that when they were together. Perhaps she reminded him of the comfort of companionship. It was strange, feeling nostalgic and repulsed at the same time. It was almost time for him to meet whomever it was Alia sent his way. Adrien couldn't remember the name of the place he was supposed to meet Mystery Girl at, to be honest. Not that he wanted to go anyway. He sighed and went to the counter to ask for more options when he was informed that Lila had put a pair of earrings on his tab. He couldn't help but roll his eyes as the attendant handed him the note she left. My ears have a price. I'm not some therapist, kitty. L. He rolled his eyes and chuckled, not the slightest bit upset at her charging him for her time. The earrings, rather than a necklace or bracelet, were a nice touch to her joke. She was right in the end. New York wasn't that far away. He didn't have enough time to get Plague and his Miraculous ring back, but after the fight tomorrow, after he and Marinette won, he could go back and get him. She'd be able to do it, of course. She had always been good at following through their strategies, and if Cat Noir's bad luck still applied, he'd take all the hits in her place. Her mother would worry about him. His breath caught as he pulled out his wallet. Marinette. He was thinking of Marinette, not Ladybug. But why? Why would he do that? Why would he substitute her, of all people, for Ladybug? Besides that, why would he ever even imagine her in that kind of danger? Didn't he care about her more than that? Didn't he? Oh, he thought, realizing a truth that had never crossed his mind. Have I only ever thought Ladybug to be girls I don't care about? Because they might get hurt? Is that why I've never imagined Alia, Marinette, or Chloe as Miraculous holders? Because I subconsciously don't want to see them get hurt? It's not as though Adrien wanted to see other girls, such as Julika, Rose, or Sabrina getting hurt. It would be sad, of course. But if some girl he cared about as much as he cared for Marinette got hurt, that would break him. It would absolutely tear him apart. Adrien exhaled slowly as the sudden epiphany heightened his senses from the adrenaline rush. At the end of the day, it wouldn't be Marinette under the mask. He'd seen how Ladybug acted around the Duping Changs in the past. But he was still scared of her getting caught up in the miraculous mess Hawkmoth had dragged in. He needed to protect her. He needed to send Marinette away by tomorrow evening. Just in case. Thank you so much for listening. Part 40 will be available shortly. In the meantime, you can check out these other videos for more fanfiction. I'll catch you next time.